Hi friends, Knife Detector here with another video on knives, as you might have guessed. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to let you guys know that there's a great product out there. And I have used this product before in a knife repair I made for a rare Swiss Army 1909 model. And I'll put a link to that video below in the description. But I wanted to show you what the product looked like, and I wanted to show you some other repairs on some knives I have come across. And remember, my goal has always been, let's keep this tool useful, let's keep it functional, so that we can continue to use it for many years to come, and it will be a useful tool for us. Plus, a cool collectible, right? Because let's face it, a lot of us guys and gals like knives. So, before I start going into my rant about how awesome knives are and why everybody should collect knives and their usefulness, let me talk to you a little bit about this, since I don't have a lot of time to make this video this morning. Making this video at 8:40 a.m. My family and I are about to go on a little excursion to a flea market in Brownsville, Texas, where who knows, I might come across more knives. But I wanted to show you some repairs that I have come across in some of these knives that I've bought. And one of them is with Weld, and one that I did is with Weld. One of these knives that you see here is mine that I purchased, and I'm going to talk to you about it in a little bit. Actually, all of these are mine that I've purchased, but I'm going to talk to you about them all briefly. So let's start with this one. Rather, let's start with the product. In that video that I'm going to show you in the description, I talk more in detail about Weld, but Weld essentially comes in two tubes. It comes with the steel, which is kind of this black rubbery mass that can get very messy, and then the hardener, which the hardener is a gray mass that you kind of put equal amounts together on like a paper plate or something you don't mind disposing of after, and then you put them right next to each other. You squirt equal amounts, and then you mix them up with like a little stick or toothpick or a tool you don't mind using, cleaning up after. And then once you start mixing it up, it turns into a gray type of really hard epoxy like steel. And it's malleable. You can move it around. You can use it. You can put it in nooks and crannies and crevices. And it really joins things together forever. I've used this so many times. And it's just a fantastic product. And that's Weld for those of you guys that are interested. So let's start with the one that's not fixed with Weld. Bought this little knife, right? I think it's about 3.5 inches closed. At first when I got it, I thought it was a Voos because it has that arrow there. But it's got some other letters there. It's not a Voos. So if any of you guys know what this knife brand is, please let me know. That looks like an EPS. I've tried to look up under EPS. I can't find anything. There looks like another. I can't tell if that's a 4 or a Y or a Z. It's a USA knife. Somebody made a cool repair on this knife, guys. Check this out. Somebody used a type of resin to fill in this crack right here. And see how the resin perfectly just fits the color of this knife? They did a fantastic job of doing that. And then they sanded the excess off. Perfect example of how you can give something a little long-lasting life. They also did that, the same thing there in the crack. And that repair must have been made years ago, guys, probably like 20, 30 years ago. So I don't know what they used, but this is a cool little knife that I like carrying with me in my pocket. And it does have a little bit of snap. Not too much. It's got a mid-stop. And then it's got the little blade. Very useful. Razor sharp little blade. Like it a lot. I did pay for this knife when I bought it quite a bit, you know, but I think it's worth it. I paid $19 for this knife. But I wanted to show you that repair where somebody was able to make that repair and keep this useful, make it last a little longer. Check this one out. Somebody used Weld on this knife and they did like an expert level repair. You can't really tell by looking at it. This looks like it's a amber bone or green bone knife. This is a Camillus, guys. Highly polished Camillus. There we go. Let me see if I can. It's a very old Camillus cutlery. Yeah. And check this repair out. See how they even put grooves in there? What I think happened is that this blade was loose and they were trying to tamp it. See the tamping marks right there? And when they did that, they smacked it a little too hard, broke the bone on this side. And then they decided, well, let me fix it with JB Weld. And then they gave it a real high polish. And you know what? That works, guys. And they polished the whole knife. Look at this beautiful brass liners. They did a fantastic job on this knife, guys. The blade has seen quite a bit of sharpening. You can tell a person that used to own this really liked to sharpen the blade and use this knife a lot. Bottom one has had some sharpening too. And they cleaned a lot of pitting that was in there. But that's an excellent example of a good repair. As you can see here, the bone wants to lift up here. That's probably what happened, and it broke off when they were fixing it. But they did a great repair. I really like this knife. I bought it specifically for the reason to have this video to show you what JB Weld can do. And this is not a paid advertisement, by the way. But wanted to show you that. Good snap. Very strong mid-stop. Very strong snap. You know what? This knife might go up for sale at another time. After I carried a little bit more. But we'll see. Now check this one out. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, is that a Kinfolk's knife? Because Kinfolk's makes a knife that looks exactly like this, guys. But no, it is not a Kinfolk's knife. This is actually by a company, Japanese company, that was around during the 60s. And if anybody knows a little bit more about it, let me know. The name of that company is not here. It's in the other blade, but it says made in Japan right there. It's a 1960s knife. Anybody want to guess what that is? Or anybody want to guess where the repair is on this knife? Well, the name of the company is YAX. And I don't know if they also made knives for Kinfolk's, but this is the exact knife that Kinfolk's has. Guys, I paid 99 cents for this knife. I think when people saw this knife for sale on eBay, they were deterred by the huge chunk that was missing right here. There was a chunk missing right here about the size of my thumbnail of bone. This beautiful brown amber bone. And what I did was, and I saw this crack, that didn't bother me much. I went ahead and I filled it in. I filled it in with JB Weld. And cleaned it up as best as I could to fill that in. And you can see, if you look hard enough, that there's a repair. And JB Weld is something that you can even color in to color match, like I did in that Swiss Army video. I tried to give it a red hue, but I went ahead and I just left it as is. And I also put some JB Weld in this crack, which you can't really see, but I put it in there to kind of adhere it a little bit better. And then I cleaned off the excess, and then I let it dry. Can you see the repair here? Same place right here. There was a smaller thumbnail chip right there. I fixed that also with JB Weld. Yeah. So this is a great pocket carry knife, guys. It's from the 1960s, which means it's going to 60 or 70 years old right now. So check that out. This is a great way to give these knives new life. So I just wanted to let you guys know that this is Knife Detector signing off. And, you know, if you have a knife that is in disrepair, excuse me, don't chuck it. Because then somebody or me will end up with it, and then I'll fix it, and I'll keep using it. Try and fix it yourself. Try and make those repairs yourself. You might find that you can do these things, you know. And enjoy your day. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend. Take care.